there, everybody. How's it going? Good morning. Good morning, AI. That's why I'm here. I wanted to come and share with you. Number one, it's an amazing day. It's Friday. Some of us look at Friday and we're like, yay for the weekend. Others look at Friday, like myself, and go, yay, I get to talk with my community today. So today we have in the AI Leadership Institute, we have my Q&A call. I look forward to it every single week. It's my chance to connect with some of my favorite people inside the AI Leadership Institute, all the members that are working on AI, doing different things in different parts of their journey in their career. It's just a really incredible time. That is our Q&A. That is for our premium members. But we also have our I Love AI community call today as well. If you don't know how to get involved, you could actually just scan this QR code or type in the URL below, and you'll have a chance to join us. It's free. You could join us. It's also really fun. I am doing a bit of an update now, but I often do an update on all the things that have come up in our community throughout the week. And then also give us a chance to kind of ask questions. So today is like Ask Noelle Anything Day. So I have several calls where we'll be doing that inside our community. But of course, without further ado, there's been some really exciting stuff happening. Now, I think y'all can hear me pretty well. If you are here and live, there are a bunch of you. I can see you. So if you're here and you want to say hello, what's up? Good morning. They're already saying it. Good morning, Don. Good to see you. So if you are here, go ahead and throw it into the chat. If you hear anything that I say that you have some comments on or insight into, just throw it into the chat for everyone else to see. Depending on the platform, you'll either see it live or you'll see it with the replay. If you are here live, go ahead and write in #live so I can see you. If you're here on the replay, you could type in replay too so I can come back and comment and say hello to you directly. But it's an exciting time, of course. The world of AI is incredibly exciting all the time. However, good morning, Jennifer. I'm not, it's Friday. I won't take a long time with you all, but I wanted to get you updated for the weekend. And also, it's nice to just hang out with you, get our day started with a bit of excitement and maybe cute and fuzzy tigers. Like, this is the best way to start the day. I don't know, put him right here. Oh no, I won't put him on camera. He's shy. His name is Bruiser, and he reminds me every day how important it is for us to build responsible AI solutions that scale. So some of the news and updates I'll be providing. What's up, Waleed? Some of the news and updates I'll be providing today are in the realm of how do we make sure we build responsibly? What things should we be thinking about? What should be concerning us? And how, most importantly, can you as an individual get involved? So the first thing, some news on, we've seen a bunch of changes happen in the leadership of some of these companies. All of us saw the really exciting news earlier this year around Sora and the video generation tool. I don't know if you've heard, but another leadership shakeup is happening. So the co-lead for Sora has left OpenAI and is now going to go join Google. But one thing I always like to tell people, that though it seems a little dramatic, because that's what we do, we like to promote some of these stories. A lot of these changes happen all the time. Like, many people are switching spots. I remember being at Amazon Alexa, and then when I went to go work for Microsoft, a bunch of people were already at Microsoft that worked at, it was I used to call it a bit incestuous, like that little group, like people just move around. I think it's actually good. I think it equalizes the opportunity. It equalizes the information, so that, not one team has all the smartest people in the world. It keeps a constant competitive, call it capitalist environment. So very interesting stuff. But yeah, so the co-lead at Sora is now moving. Of course, we saw that Mira Murati, the CTO of OpenAI, is going off to do exciting new things. I cannot wait to see what she's involved in. Of course, the OpenAI leadership team has had some significant changes, but again, this happens. So as a company that helps organizations go from startup to very big, right? From nothing to 125 million or 5 billion or 100 billion, right? As you move in this direction, I actually am part of an organization that works with these smaller companies as they grow. And we've identified data-driven analysis on what happens to leadership inside companies over time. And what often happens in these organizations is that you get to what we call a break point in your organization. And when you get to that break point, something's got to change in order for you to grow, right? It's almost like some of you might know this story. Like I happen to be a Christian, and so I know, like, I'm often told to people, you can never go back to where you were. You can't really surround yourself with people who are around you when you were younger or when you were smaller as an organization. Like, as you go, you kind of have to up level your entire organization to move in a new direction, because sometimes the people in your company will be like, no, 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 this isn't what we started, this isn't what we planned on, I want to go back to who we were. And that's okay, because people like Ilya at OpenAI will go and start new companies to preserve those things. But when you have a vision like Sam Altman and Greg Brockman do, like, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I know that in the evolution of companies, that these types of leadership changes are extremely important so that everyone gets to do bigger and better things, right? This splintering off, the creation of new companies that'll support the ecosystem. I think even though it seems a little tumultuous and a little dramatic, it actually is for the greater good. At least this is my belief. We'll see. We'll see what we all think. Hey, Priscilla, great to see you. Good morning. Nice to have you here. Okay, and so that's my update. I've watched kind of the drama, what AI as the world turns, like kind of dramatic telenovela type stuff that's happening in the leadership of these teams. But what I think is important for all of us to recognize is that leadership has to transition, that the people who got a company from 0 to 5 billion or whatever are not going to be the same people that get it from 5 billion to 100 billion or to a trillion, right? And we've seen this happen in every company, Google, Microsoft, Amazon. The difference is that it wasn't front facing in social media for us to watch every little move. And I think that is different. I think it's great. I love it. It's like, get me popcorn, right? Like, I'm all about it. But also don't, I think some people tend to overthink how important those transitions are. I actually think it's great. I want to see, Mira Murati, I hope she starts a company. I hope she creates a diverse and inclusive team to lead a different part of the world that she cares about the most. I can't wait to see what she does. Okay, so moving on to some product updates. Google Lens just announced some updates. I've been using Google Lens a lot. Actually, I have quite a few TikToks of me like going in and grabbing a product and it breaks. And I would just go on to Google or Amazon.com, go into the Amazon app, use the camera, take a picture of it, and it would use computer vision to detect what I was holding and find me other pictures. I mean, y'all know I have 6 kids. So sometimes we have multiple things that break around the house, at least on a weekly basis. So one of them is like a lamp, but the lamp is part of a set. They look the same. So I'm like, well, one broke. I don't even remember where we bought it. So we ended up what I did is I took a picture of the fixed lamp and I said, can I find another one that is exactly like this? And I did that. Again, I didn't do it with Google Lens at the time, but now I can use Google Lens both on my phone, but also in browser to do the same detection. The benefit of that is that I'm not only looking at the opportunities or the offers available on Amazon, which is what I was doing before. Now I get Etsy, and I get a bunch of different options, which is pretty cool. And I really like that. I also think from an accessibility perspective, you guys remember, right? The glasses that Google launched like way back when. This is, I feel like there's an evolution coming where more of us can start using computer vision on a daily basis to make our lives better. Anytime right now, whenever I feel myself typing a description of anything that's visual or physical into a chatbot, into a search engine, like, can't I just take a picture? Wouldn't that be easier? Some of us are so trained on doing things the hard way that it's hard for us to kind of reinvent our own minds on how we might solve a problem. And we end up doing things just in a way that's not necessary anymore. So I do think that we're going to see people who are maybe newer and not burdened by the way we used to do things, 10 years ago, finding that they can find things faster, get what they want easier, reduce the friction to all the things, creating a business, creating marketing, generating sales leads. Like, all these things will become easier with the advent of of kind of the integration of these computer vision technologies. So Google Lens is one. I think I went live. Oh no, it was actually what was that? I was live with someone. Um, I was maybe on a call. I can't remember. I do these things all the time. But one of them I mentioned Google LM, of course, or Notebook LM, sorry, Google's Notebook LM. Of course, it's gotten a lot of press lately because people are like, what is this sorcery? Like, what is happening here? But if you haven't seen it yet, please go take a look. Notebook LM allows you to source information. I did a demo, it's available on YouTube, and I think in my feed on LinkedIn. But you can go and take a look at this and you can provide a source. And this is what I did to just demonstrate it, right? I recently launched an AI incubator to help small businesses leverage AI to grow their organization by at least 30%. And that's super conservative, but that's the number I put on the table to say, if you do this, you'll get at least 30% growth, which means if you have nothing, you will have customers that can pay your expenses. Like, that's the good news. So I launched this incubator and I put up a website, AIstartupstudios.com. And then I went and, and I created the website, I added the features, added the price, all that stuff. And then I took that website and all I did was feed it as a source into Notebook LM, and it generated in like 2 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. I can't remember, but not very long at all. It generated the podcast that many of us have seen and felt like, wow, that's pretty cool. Right. So we saw this podcast get created between two robotic, fake, like human sounding robotic processes that have now a dialogue about my website. And it's fun. They like banter back and forth. It actually reminds me of like old school, like radio host pod. It's like a podcast, but it reminded me of like the banter that you see, when you're listening to the radio on the way to school. Okay. I just aged myself or dated myself, I guess. But like on the way to school, I would listen to the radio and these, two people would just banter back and forth, laugh at each other, kind of like punch each other on the shoulder. Right. And that was the way that this content was generated. And it was completely fabricated off of what I wrote. Like, they're like, oh, if you're a startup, I know when I started my company, I'm like, what do you mean when you started a company? Like, you're a robot. It was very cool. So if you haven't tried it yet, please go out and try it. You can point it to any website. I prefer you point it to your own. Use it as a source. One of the members of our AI Leadership Institute community pointed it, and I don't know that I would suggest you do this, but as an example, pointed it to all of their health data, like all of the records that they've gotten over years. They're a veteran. Thank you, Stephen Pullum, for your service. They're a veteran, and they embedded all of their health data into this system so that they could get a better understanding of what kind of questions to bring to their doctor, right? Like something that's holistic, something that takes into account all of their history, where if when you go into a doctor, like, it's very difficult for them to have that range of knowledge, right, of all the things, especially as we get older, where there's decades of records. It's very difficult for a new doctor to get up to speed, or even an existing doctor to remember in all of their patients those details. So what happens when we empower users like ourselves, empower ourselves to take those records and not use it to diagnose ourselves, right, but use it as a mechanism for understanding how to ask better questions, how to get better healthcare, how to build better preventive or proactive, healthcare routines. Like, I think it's a really incredible opportunity. As a result, I'll just quickly tell you, I have this, I can't remember where I put it. It's huge. It's like 400-page document. I went to an organization called 10X Health. They've got a precision results or precision data genetic test that you can take. You spit into a tube like 23andMe, and they give you a precision health test result back. And it's about, 7,000 different variables that they check. They check your genetic makeup, your genetic defects that have happened from your mother or your father, and how you methylize, how you metabolize, like all these things. And then they give you a plan on how you can either lose weight, maintain weight, get healthier. Like, how do you just supplement? But what I loved about it is that they provide micro dosing of nutrients instead of taking like all the big pills we take. Micro dosing of nutrients, all built through the use of AI, right? All saying, okay, if I understand these algorithmic results, how can I create a micro dosing package of nutrients that you can take? And if you're interested, maybe I'll throw up the the link. It's just you can go to my Bitly link. I'll put it in the chat. But it's really cool. It's like really interesting times where we're seeing companies leverage AI to create better experiences. The challenge I ran into, which is where Notebook LM came in, was that I could not understand more than half the things that were in this document. Like, I am not a doctor. I don't understand. Like, I can't even really pronounce some of the words that were used, like method, blah, 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 to tricate or something. I don't even know. So I started first with a good old fashioned dictionary. Then I was like, man, couldn't I feed this into Chat GPT or Claude or Gemini or something? And then I found Notebook LM, and I was like, okay, I would like Notebook LM to synthesize this 400-page, precision health result for me and start giving me even podcast style information that'll help me understand my own health better. And that, I think, we could, and not only that, of course, I could translate it into 40 languages. If I am doing a precision health test and I speak Spanish right now, you get that data from the researchers in English. Like, what a world we unlock for people when we can give them their information and allow them to consume it in whatever way is easiest for them. So I'm super excited about that. Oh my gosh, yes. So let's get to another update. Copilot, what? Copilot came out with phase 2. We saw the great team over at Copilot do a bunch of announcements this week. One of the things I love about it most is something that I currently kind of cobble together on an Edge browser, where I use Dictate and I use screen reading, all accessibility tools to help me when I'm on a page for it to just read it out loud to me. However, it hasn't been awesome. It's been, it's kludgy. Like, I have to click a bunch of things, and if the browser focus is off, like, it's just a big mess. So I was really excited to see that Copilot in phase 2, they launched a bunch of features. I actually posted about them earlier this week. But they now have integrated screen reading as part of Copilot and contextual reasoning. So I'll just say I have a couple of I have a second grader, 2 second graders, and a 4th grader. And they right now, one of the biggest things second graders are working on is reading long swaths of text and then being able to ask contextual questions of that text and provide contextual answers to that text, right? So it reminded me of the homework I'm helping them do, but how, again, very cool it is. Remember, some of you might know that there's a YouTube channel called 2-Minute Papers. That's what it is. 2-Minute Papers. I love this channel because it's humans dissecting and really kind of abbreviating what are in these academic papers, which, again, could I sit down with a thesaurus and a dictionary, old school style, and figure out what it means? I could, but it's way better when someone who knows, I always call them, these are the unicorns in our world, right? That can provide translation services for us. And so I love it. It's personality. I really enjoy that channel. But now I also, they don't do all the papers, right? So I also now am able to leverage Copilot to do some of this screen read a academic paper. And when I hit something that I don't completely understand, or I want to know more context, or more importantly, I want to know the derivation of, like, where did that come from? I now have the ability to do that. What's up, Frank? Frank's in the house. Good to see you. Nice to see you all. If you are here, go ahead and throw your name into the chat. I'd love to see you. A bunch of people coming from all over. We have people from LinkedIn. We have people on YouTube. We have people on Facebook. So thank you all for joining me today. So those are some of my product updates. The phase 2, go ahead. Go out and Google it or set a Google alert. That's how some of the updates I get from Google Alert. Some of them I get from TechCrunch, just to give you a sense of like where and when I can. A lot of the challenge I have as a very interested enthusiast ambassador for understanding where we're going with this technology, I often have to have something that helps me kind of distinguish the signal from the noise. So I do have some trusted sources. Hopefully I'm one of those sources for you all. But another thing, of course, is I do just create good friends and relationships. So if you see anyone in the chat, feel free to, go check them out in the chat. Go check them out on, Frank or Priscilla or Waleed. Like, check them out. Follow them on LinkedIn. A lot of the people that are listening today, again, I feel like every one of us, the closer we can get to each other, the easier it'll be to solve really hard problems when we need to, because we'll have such a great collection, a symphony of talent to choose from. Let's see, last two things. What was I going to talk about? OpenAI. Oh, yeah. So OpenAI just launched. I just used it this morning. They launched a update to their conversational AI on device. Let's see if I can pull it up for you all. I'm using Spruce, which I don't know. I just like the Spruce voice for some reason. So in this new update, oh my gosh, I'll just search for it. No, I don't have to search for it. In this new update, it's cool. It's got a new image that is generated. That is my Spruce logo. I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but that's the one that I'm using. It's listening to me right now and probably trying to figure out why I'm talking to it. But it's much more receptive and responsive. It also apologizes when it accidentally interrupts me. That's kind of cool. I was not getting those before. But now that it's not just ChatGPT with its voice enhancements, so I encourage you, if you are using it, just talk to it. You'd be surprised what weird things happen in our own human minds when we start talking to machines. Some of us don't want to do it. Some of us even are a little bit embarrassed to like be talking to a machine. Like I just watch a lot when I teach these classes to executives. We do at the AI Leadership Institute. I go from the boardroom to the whiteboard to the keyboard. So in a recent, just like on Monday, I was talking to this board and I'm like, great, let's do this thing, right? Let's install this application and we're going to talk, like literally talk to our device. And they all felt a bit foolish. And that's the world we are in right now is again, a very transitory like moment where some people are going to be like, well, that's weird that I'm going to talk to my device. And some people, like my children, are going to be like, why are you typing? Like when you could just ask for what you want. So it's really important to start flexing this muscle, if you will. ChatGPT is one of them. However, of course, Copilot also launched its voice capability. And as you know, at the beginning or middle of September, just a couple weeks ago, Apple Intelligence launched, right? So Apple Intelligence launched with the new version of iOS. Several of us were on the beta for that. I've been using it for quite some time. Again, it's not perfect, but neither was any other voice platform ever. Like Alexa was broken when it launched. Google Assistant was broken when it launched. Like this is now AI Assistant via Siri. Oh, okay, good. So it gives us a chance. There's no excuse not to talk to your tech. Like, why wouldn't you just ask the question, what's nearby? How can I do this? Look at this device. I want a tiger that looks like this. Build me a logo for that. Like, whatever you're doing, get in the habit of consulting a device. Now, what I will tell you, of course, is if you are an enterprise, if you are inside a company, you're not going to want to use your internal corporate information, business proprietary data, and ask those questions of a model. But there are the other 90% of our day of things that we can do, writing content, communicating to people, right? Like I just yesterday realized that I had sent a very quick response to someone. And I was right at the end of that response. I'm like, it was one of the first times that I actually became self-aware, right? Where I was like, oh, I should just see what Copilot would do. I did not use what Copilot generated. As a matter of fact, I think I was on LinkedIn and I used their AI tool. I just default to checking to what that AI will do and how it will be used. The benefit of that mental decision, right? To say, I'm going to consult an AI, I'm going to use a Copilot, I'm going to partner with and collaborate with an AI system, is that when you do it I learned this from, what's his name? Chris Roth. Anyway, he wrote a book on negotiation and he says, use low stakes environments to test high stakes experiences. So why you do not want to be the first time you need to use AI shouldn't be when you need it, right? You want to be well practiced so that when you need to use AI to solve a business problem, you are very well equipped in the form of, prompt engineering, building guardrails, understanding AI safety. Like those should not be new skills to you when you finally need it. So I'm encouraging you all now, whether you think you need it or not, it's important to start practicing this Copilot thing. Okay. Let's see. I wrote down some things I wanted to talk to you all about, but I can't understand my own handwriting. Oh, I think I talked about that. Okay. So the last few things, I told my husband, I'm like, it'll only be 10 minutes. And I'm already 25 minutes in. I hope you all have an amazing Friday. There are some cool things happening today. You'll notice down below and in the QR code, if you join us over at the AI Leadership Institute inside our free community called I Heart AI or I Love AI, we have a call every day at 4 p.m. This is an open call. It's free. It allows anyone to come in. It's an ask me anything. You can ask me any questions about my career, my journey, what I know about the products that I'm working with. I'll be spotlighting a brand new, every week I spotlight a new company, a new startup. So I have a couple startups that I've been working with. So I'll be spotlighting some of the work that they do today. We also are announcing our AI chatbot builder certification awardees. So we have 7 new people who've gone through the chatbot certification and have launched it. It brings us to about 25 people who have taken this certification. If you want to get certified in building AI machines end to end, so what we do is in 4 hours, we build an AI bot end to end with responsible AI practices. This is what's different. Can you go to YouTube and learn to build a bot? Absolutely. You definitely can. But will you learn to build it in a way that's safe, that's responsible, so that you understand some of the most important qualities of building AI systems? This includes accuracy management. It includes fairness. It includes, bias mitigation. It includes risk analysis. It includes the ability for you to ensure that your bot is safe and secure. Most of the time when you go and learn how to build a bot on a YouTube channel or even at a Stanford or a Harvard, they're not really, unless you're taking a class on responsible AI, they won't necessarily show you how to build as well. So I wanted to combine those two things together. It's called the AI Bot Builder Challenge. The next one we are doing is October 22nd and 23rd. You can see that inside the iHeart AI community. So if you want to join us there, you are welcome to. It's an extremely exciting, fun time. Most people who join this have never built anything in AI before. I always say no code, no code, no limits. Like, you do not need to know how to code. If you know how to code, it'll be even more fun, I think, because you can add API calls and things like that. But you do not need to have any technical experience to learn how to build a bot end to end. And the world is moving no code. I don't know if you saw some of the capabilities in Copilot that just launched that were around being able to build applications without code. So that is one cool thing that's coming up. I am headed actually next week. So this is my whirlwind tour of Noel for the next 2 weeks. So next week, maybe next 3 weeks. Next week, I'm in 3 states. I will be speaking in Denver at MGMA, which is a medical group. I will be speaking on Wednesday. I'll be at Grace Hopper. So if any of you are going to be at Grace Hopper, I hope I get to see you. I'll be there all day Wednesday. My session is actually in the afternoon at 1 o'clock. I will also be hosting an online webinar for WorkHuman. So I will be doing that earlier in the day. On Thursday, I'm going to be in Salt Lake City. Yeah, like physically in Salt Lake City, super bright-eyed and bushy-tailed because I sleep very well on a plane. But I will be in Salt Lake City communicating and talking to, remember I was talking about 10X Health? So I will be talking all about responsible AI in the world of nutrition. So I'll be talking for the Center of Responsible Nutrition. This is like if you walk into a grocery store and you see all the vitamins in the vitamin aisle, all those vendors or all of those providers will be there. And so I'm going to be talking to them about how critical it is, not that they just use AI, but that they use it safely and responsibly, and that there's a practice around that. So you can count on me to go to farmers, to go to power utility people, to go to nutritionists, and encourage the entire world to think differently about how they maybe, randomly use AI to solve a problem, and how do they actually intentionally build responsibly and safely. So that's this week. I will be in 3 states. Then on Saturday, I head to Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the featured speakers at South by Southwest in Sydney next week. I will also be doing a really cool internal event at Macquarie Asset Management, which I spoke at their location last year. And I'm also on a panel on Friday. So my keynote's on Thursday. We have a panel on Friday. I'm trying desperately to take Wednesday and actually enjoy myself, because last year I was at South by Southwest in Sydney and I was busy the whole time. My husband and I ended up just hitting Bondi Beach for 40 minutes with our suitcases on our way out of town. It was terrible. So this time I was like, no, we're going to spend time. We're going to enjoy, like do something. Maybe we'll even go to the Hopper House. We'll see what happens. But after that, one opportunity for those of you in the DC area, please join us. We are doing our first bot building live. We are doing it at the Voice and AI Summit and GovCon that is hosted by my friend Pete Erickson. So I'm a keynote at those events, but I'm also going to be on Monday in the pre-event. I will be delivering this session. So if you are listening to this, you can ping me and I can give you a discount code just for my friends. So if you are listening to this, you can send me a note if you want to show up at Voice and AI and you want a discount code to show up. This will also give you an opportunity to opt into our workshop on the day before the conference, the 28th. It's a 4-hour workshop and you'll do exactly what I just mentioned virtually about the Bot Builder Challenge. You can come and do it live with us. You'll get a book, you'll get maybe even a t-shirt. So if you want that coupon code, that discount code, to be able to join us live in DC the 28th, 29th, and 30th, please send me a message directly. I will send you back that coupon code, and I would love to see you all there. That takes us right to the end of the month of October. I'm going to attempt to go live every business day, Monday through Friday. For me, I dedicate my weekends to my family. So Monday through Friday, I'm going to try and go live just like this. They won't be as long because this is my first one I've done in a while. So I had a lot of updates. But I'll be all over, right? So I'm going to go live from Denver. I'll be live from Grace Hopper. I'll be live from Salt Lake City. So it'll be a really fun week. I hope you can join me in the mornings. Good morning, AI, everybody. I hope you have an amazing day. Make it amazing. Like it's Friday. Get excited. Like it's an incredibly cool time to be alive. And if you are not excited right now, look around. See if somebody around you needs some help and help them. You'd be surprised how energizing it is when you actually help people by helping people. It's a very simple philosophy, but I think about it every day. I implement it every day. And it's something that I really enjoy. So thanks for joining me today. I'm going to let y'all go. It was so great. Thank you so much. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Priscilla had just mentioned in the chat that they launched ChatGPT 4.0 with Canvas today. And yeah, there's so many cool things. So maybe we'll do some demos of that next week. Anyway, this afternoon, join me on my call in the communities. I'd love to see you there. It's a Zoom call, so you get to actually open up your mic, ask questions. It's much more intimate than this. But this is my way for updating you all on the things that I'm excited about this week. All right, take care. Have a great